Good morning, guys. Today we have a lot to get done, so today I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Today we are going to be powder coating the valve covers on the GTR. For the sake of time, I already went ahead and took them off of the motor. So all we're gonna use today is a $70 powder coating system from Harbor Freight. We got some powders. I got some aircraft remover to strip the paint that's currently on the valve covers. I got a few wire brushes, and I got some alcohol to clean everything up before we lay our powder on top. So now for the most part, all the dirt, grime, and grease is all off the valve covers. We're stripping the paint anyway, but the reason why I cleaned it before spraying the aircraft remover, rather than removing the dirt and grime, it just goes directly to whatever paint is on there. This stuff is pretty easy to use. All you do is shake it up, and you're just gonna go ahead and spray a coat on everything. We might have to go through 1 or 2 coats, but this stuff works really, really well. So I got pretty much all the paint that was on it off. This is pretty much down to the bare metal. Now I'm just gonna go ahead with the Scotch-Brite pad, roughen the surface up just so that the first layer of powder coat has something to bond to. We're just gonna go ahead while it's still wet and just scuff it up a little bit. After all these are scuffed up, then we should be good to go ahead and start powder coating. So unfortunately my oven isn't that big, so I won't be able to do everything at once, so I have to separate them. But I went ahead and threw the cam cover into the oven already. I already dried it, but I threw it in there for about 5 to 10 minutes at 400 degrees, so it kind of heats up, so any moisture that might be on there dries, and also so the metal itself kind of warms up a little bit. Something that I learned since the last time I powder coated is that you should warm up what you're powder coating before you throw the powder onto it. But we're gonna go ahead and open up the powder. I got this powder from Prismatic Powders. So I got 3 colors. I got alloy silver, then I got black. I don't know what black this is. Does it say on here? Black satin. And then I also got lollipop red. That's really it. So I got 2 pounds of lollipop red. Now the reason why I got 2 pounds is because I'm not only gonna be doing my valve cover, I'm also gonna do my brake calipers down the line, but that's not today. I got alloy silver. Oh shit. Is it broken? Oh shit, it's ripped. I wonder if I ripped it. Oops, that's not good. But I also got alloy silver as kind of a primer for the red. Now you can just spray the red on top of the metal, but it's gonna come out kind of a weird color. So this is kind of gonna act like a primer. All right, I think that should be fine. So this is one of the 2 containers that came with the whole $70 powder coating system from Harbor Freight. I really didn't put that much in there. I probably filled it like about a quarter full. So let me just go over the whole powder coating system real quick with you guys. So this is kind of the heart of everything. The back of it leads to a power source, and then you can flip it on and off from here. So the little tiny wire that connects all the way on the right is this little guy right over here. Basically this just has to connect somehow to whatever you're powder coating. The next wire over is this little foot presser thingy right here. Pressing this down kind of sends some electrical charge into this and kind of does something with science to whatever you're powder coating. I'm not gonna act like I know the whole science behind it because I really don't, but I'm just telling you guys what I know and whatever my knowledge is. And the wire all the way on the right connects to your gun. Now the gun is already connected to my air compressor, which is set to about 30-35 PSI. And then the container just screws on right on top of here. I know in some powder coating systems, it's on the bottom. This one is on the top. Now what I'm gonna do is set the cam cover right down over here, and I'm gonna powder coat right in this area. Once I can touch it without burning my hand, then we're gonna go ahead, start laying down some powder coat, and then we're gonna throw it in the oven for another probably 10 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna clean it one more time with alcohol before we start laying the powder coat on it. So it literally just came out of the oven. It's super hot, so we're gonna give it about 5 to 10 minutes so it can cool down. And once it cools down just a little bit, we're gonna go ahead, spray some lollipop red on it. It's really weird looking at it right now because it's like this weird texture and it doesn't look like it could like ever look like paint. It just looks like kind of a suede. We're gonna go ahead, toss it in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and this should come out super, super red. I just pulled this out of the oven, so I don't want to touch it yet because it's still cooling down, but damn, that looks so good. So it looks like it has a lot of orange peel, which I didn't really know could happen with powder coat. I know it happens with regular automotive paint, but I didn't know what happens with powder coat. So right after this cools down, I'm gonna pick it up and then I'm gonna throw the other valve cover on here. I'm still gonna have to do one at a time, but I'm not gonna bore you guys with all that. I'm just gonna try to skim over it just to give you guys the final result, but damn, this thing looks so damn good. I'm so happy with how this came out. It looks so good. It just looks so much better. I mean, you guys saw how it looked before. It was this like ugly black and the black was kind of flaking off, and now it's this like beautiful red. The name of this color was called Lollipop Red, and it really does look amazing. The intake manifold looks so crappy compared to the nice valve covers and everything. So underneath the black is just bare metal, so I was just trying to wire brush everything down. I still have to get the hard to reach areas, but I got the majority of it. But this thing looks so good, and I'm so happy with how this came out. This little $70 powder coating system from Harbor Freight really put in work. I told you guys already that I've used this powder coating system in the past, but I've only done lug nuts, and when you're doing something small like lug nuts, it's just kind of hard to see the imperfections that the powder coating system might leave behind. Since this valve cover is pretty big, you can see all the imperfections that it may leave. Now, don't get me wrong, this looks amazing, but it does have some imperfections. It might be a little hard to see, but you can see that in this area, it's light red and it looks almost pinkish. Like everything is a nice rich red, and right over here it looks just a tiny bit discolored. When you have a cheap powder coating system, the problem you have is with coverage. Now, we didn't get full coverage. Now, it's not bad. It's really hard to see. You can barely even tell that it's discolored. If you step back like 4 feet, you can't tell at all, and oh my god, it looks so good. Now I want to give you guys my thoughts on this powder coating system. I think that if you're going to powder coat for the first time, it's definitely not a bad investment for $70. Getting something like this powder coated could be expensive, and it could go upwards of $300 to $400. I saved a ton of money just by doing it myself, and I'm really happy with the results. I want to give you guys a closer look just so you guys can see absolutely everything. I already told you guys that with this powder coating system, you have issues with coverage, and you can see little dots here and there where we didn't get complete coverage. Now, I'm not blaming the powder coating system. I'm a complete novice when it comes to powder coating. This is literally my second thing I've ever powder coated. That could have been just because I didn't prep the metal or just something little like that. If you're looking into the engine bay from right here, you literally cannot see it. You cannot see it until you get really up close. But that is gonna be it for today. I have to get back to putting the motor back together. I have to put the new turbos back in the motor, and it's gonna be terrible. If you guys know RB stuff, you guys know that doing twin turbos on an RB just sucks. If you guys wanna keep up with the build, definitely hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.